this week we're going to be doing a mini makeover in this room right here, and we're going to be making over these shelves above my head. As you can see, these shelves currently house some plants that are inside of our house, but they're not doing so well. I always forget to water these plants because they are up so high and you need a ladder to get up there to them, so I just end up putting it off, just kind of neglecting these plants. So we're going to do a makeover so that these plants can go outside where they stand a chance, and we can have something pretty and matching the vibe of the house inside. So the plan this week is to take the shelves that currently exist right here, and we're going to kind of redo them to make them into bookcase, book displays for some of our vintage books that we have that don't have a place in the house right now. We're going to do a few things to these shelves, and we're going to give them kind of a vintage feel, dress them up a little bit to make them more aesthetically pleasing, more in line with the vintage French country sort of feel of the house. And then we will have some storage for some of our vintage books. And the other thing that I want to do this week is just to add a couple of little decorative elements around the house. I have been on the hunt for some corbels for the house, which are kind of the decorative pieces that go in doorways, arches, and stuff like that in older homes. And so I finally found some, so we are going to add some of those to our space as well this week. And I can't wait to show you guys what I found because I think they're so pretty and they're really just going to add a lot to the look of our home overall. If you're interested in seeing how these shelves turn out and what the final result looks like, then stick around and watch this video and we're going to get right into it. So we're going to start by removing these plants and just cleaning off these shelves, wiping them down so that they're nice and fresh for us to work with. And then we can go ahead and cut our plexiglass so that we can get it ready to install. Okay, so for our plexiglass, I want to start by cutting it in half, and then we can cut it down to size to the measurements that we need. So in order to do that, I'm going to take my measuring tape and measure for the bottom piece of plexiglass to be 6 inches because the entire width of it is 12 inches, so that will cut it in half. So I'm gonna move this top piece of plexiglass down just to give me a straight edge to kind of run across so that I don't end up with a crooked line. I'm just going to press down, run my box cutter along this line so that I have a straight line. And that makes it so that I get a straight line that doesn't, and we'll be able to cut this all the way through with our miter saw. All right, so we got all of our pieces cut, and let me tell you, that was so loud. Honestly, probably the loudest thing that I've had to cut on the miter saw. So I tried to just do it really, really quickly so that we didn't have to be exposed to that for too long because I didn't bring my headphones out because I was only cutting a few pieces. Knocked it out really quickly, and what we're gonna do is peel off this little covering that just kind of protects it while it's being shipped to you. And then we'll go ahead and apply our fluted glass peel and stick. So this is what they're looking like. There's like a little tiny chip on maybe 1 or 2 of them just from the miter saw, but honestly I'm not worried about it because if you have any with a defect you can just put that on the bottom. We're gonna end up applying a trim on the bottom so you won't even see that. Right now I think that this looks really glass-like. I think when we put on this faux fluted glass it's gonna make it look even more glass-like because I have used this before in our vintage storage box that we made from the hot sauce container, and it looked so good. I think it's going to be really good on here because before we applied it on plastic and it worked really, really well. So we will go ahead and peel off all of the protective coverings on these and then we'll be ready to go. The next thing that we're going to do for all of our plexiglass is to apply our fluted glass peel and stick. And this I think is going to make a really big difference in the final look of our book displays. I think it's going to really step it up and make it look more intentional and more like a decor piece in your home rather than just some plexiglass lining a shelf. For the peel and stick, it's super simple. I got this off Amazon, and all you have to do is follow the directions that come with it. It really is very beginner friendly, super forgiving. So what you need to do is measure whatever it is that you're going to be applying the peel and stick to, and then you're going to cut your peel and stick before you put it onto your glass or plastic or whatever it may be. And you want to leave a half an inch around all the sides just so that you have a little bit of space in case, you know, your measurement's off or it shrinks a little bit as it dries, that sort of thing. We're going to start by doing that. We'll measure and cut. And you also want to think about what direction do you want your fluted glass to go in. So you can do it in two ways. You can have it like this, where it's going horizontally, or you can have it like this, where your fluted glass is running vertically. So when I did our previous project, I did it so that the fluted glass was going horizontally. This time around, I think I want to go vertical this time. So it would end up looking something like this, and I think that's going to give it a really nice look. It is only peel and stick, so you can totally just peel it off if you change your mind. So I'm literally just going to place my plexiglass piece on and then cut the extra off. So I went ahead and added our fluted glass peel and stick to the rest of our plexiglass pieces, and this is what it's looking like at this point. I think it looks really good. I think that you truly would not be able to tell that this isn't fluted glass, especially when it is up high and at a distance. There's going to be just no way that someone could tell. We're going to let this dry because you do spray it and get it all wet to apply the peel and stick, so I want to let it sit and dry completely so that the peel and stick really adheres to the plexiglass well and isn't going to move around or come off later on. So we'll set these off to the side and let them dry for a little bit. And while those are drying, we're going to move on to what will be the next step when we go to install all of these pieces to our book display. I went ahead and picked up some trim because I want to add trim to the base of our book display. I think that that's really going to help to make this look more seamless and seem like it's one consistent piece rather than a shelf with things added onto it. And I also think that when we install the plexiglass to the shelves, the trim is going to help to hide any screws that you would see from attaching the plexiglass. I picked out this trim at the hardware store. I think it's really pretty. I think that it kind of has that vintage feel to it. I really like these little square details, and I think it's just going to go with the overall feel of this room in general. I cut it all down to the sizes that we'll need for the book display. What I want to do to get these trim pieces ready is stain them, and then they can dry overnight so they're really good and dry for when we install everything tomorrow. Alright guys, it's the next day, so we're gonna go ahead and bring the ladder in and take down all these plants and give it all a good wipe down so that we can install the railing for our book display.
Ended up staring in the bathroom mirror, crying on your bedroom floor. Baby, you can take my word. You haven't gotta hurt no more. Things about to get much better. I wanna make this forever. I wanna make this forever. Said that you felt lost 100 times before. Going in circles on a one-way street, running till your feet get sore. Well, I guess you haven't heard. You ain't got around no more. Things about to get much better. So I wanna make this forever. 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 I wanna make this Rainy days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay. From the moment that we met, you were.
So we're gonna take the tape off. This sat overnight and we're gonna see if it is holding on. Let's find out if it's gonna stick. Okay, so far it's looking promising, but we will see as we get more of it off. All right, guys, so the trim stayed up, which is very exciting because I was getting a little bit frustrated yesterday trying to get the trim to stay up in different ways with the glue and nails and things like that. So I'm really excited that the silicone sealant is working and it seems to be pretty strong, and I really am liking how it's looking. I think the trim finishes it off really nicely. We are going to put the trim on the other side of the shelf and then we'll be able to decorate. All right, guys, so the next thing that I want to do is put a couple of little decorative items in this room and our hallway. And so I want to go ahead and put some corbels up in these arches that we have. And I have been looking for some pretty ornate wood corbels for like months now. And I either have not found ones that I like, or if I find them, they're like $100 a piece, which I know is very common for corbels, but I just did not want to pay $100 for a single corbel. Corbel is kind of the ornate piece that can go in the corner of doorways and arches. I just recently, like a couple of days ago, found some corbels on Facebook Marketplace that were absolutely perfect. And so I'm going to show you what I found. So these are the corbels that we're going to be using. And they are just so pretty. They are solid wood. They're carved with this ornate, decorative, like scroll style of carving. I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. And I got 7 of these on Facebook Marketplace for $70. So that means that I got each corbel for $10, which I thought was an amazing deal, especially because they can range between $70 to $150 for one single corbel. $10 a corbel is like unheard of. Very excited. I got them immediately. So my plan is to put 2 in this doorway here, 2 in our hallway where we just recently hung the new light. And then when we do the bedroom makeover, I want to put 2 in our bedroom. And then we'll have 1 left over that we can hold on to, or if we want to make it a shelf or something down the road, then we'll have that. They're gonna look like this, and I just think it's gorgeous. I think it goes so well with the colors in this space. I think the ornate details go really well with the vintage feel of the house, and I just really, really love the look of them. So I'm super excited to add these in. For these, you can do it a couple of ways. You could glue these. It looks like the previous person had attached them to some kind of stone as kind of like a shelf support. They also have just regular old nail holes that you can use in the back. My plan is to use these and then we'll see how that goes. I'm going to use some decking nails so that they're stronger and they'll sit further into the wall without making too big of a hole. It's going to be the same size hole as a regular screw. It'll just sit further in, and that way these corbels are not going to fall off. That's the plan. We're going to grab some tape and run it across the back to mark out where the holes are, and then we can hang our corbels.
This could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Mm-hmm. Talk for hours and never slept. Two silhouettes on the concrete steps. We watched the sun as it
Alright, the moment of
slowly
truth. Let's
crept
see if I did it right.
from the horizon to the place we met.
Okay, that's pretty sturdy. So, I mean, for this to fall down, you would really have to intentionally push it up and pull it off because this bottom screw is sitting up into the pocket, and so it needs to be turned sideways to get it out of that pocket to get it off. So I feel pretty comfortable about leaving these as is and then being super secure and not falling. That is so good. That was super easy, and we're just going to do that 3 more times. And then when we do the bedroom makeover, you'll get to see where we're going to put these in our bedroom.
This could be the best thing that I'll ever know. Mm-hmm.
All right, so the first 2 are up. I think they look really, really good. I didn't get them 100% flush at the top. Honestly, I'm not sure how you would do that without just gluing it and maybe like brad nailing it through the front, because the way that the hooks are set up, you would hit the top before you were able to get the head of the screw into the hole. So I don't know how people would do that without putting nails through the front. So if you know how to do that to get them completely flush at the top, leave me a comment, let me know, because I would love to know how to do that in the future. I don't think that they look bad like this. I think they look really nice actually, and I think they're pretty even as well, which is good. So yeah, overall I'm really happy with how they turned out. I think this wood tone goes really nicely with the colors in this room and the wood tones that we have in our house. And I just love the ornate detail that it adds to the doorway. I think it just adds that extra layer of personality and character to our space and just gives it a really special touch. So I'm super happy with these, and we're gonna go ahead and add the other 2 in our hallway, and then we'll be all done.
Oh, this could be the best thing that I'll ever know.
Okay, so I've grabbed a few of our books that we're going to be putting up there, and I'm going to start making a stack of all the books that I think will be good for the shelves. I don't think that will fully fill the shelves just because they're quite long, but that's okay. It gives us room for a future book. I'm going to bring those in, and then we can start to put books on the shelves and decorate. guys, well that wraps up this week's video. I hope that you enjoyed doing this mini makeover with me and creating our vintage and antique book displays and also putting up our corbels. I'm super happy with how both of these projects turned out. I have been wanting to do the book displays and also find and put up corbels for quite a while now. I'm really excited to be able to do these DIYs and share these with you all. And I hope that you all enjoyed it and that you love the outcome as much as I do. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and if you are going to try to incorporate any of these ideas into your space. I think they're such a great way to add personality to your home without having to do a ton of work or a whole makeover or anything like that. If you enjoyed this video and doing these projects with me, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this. I put up new videos every single Sunday, and we do a ton of really fun projects and makeovers and DIYs together on the channel, and we would love to have you be a part of our DIY community. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next Sunday.